Hello, and welcome to the Happy Hour. I'm your host, and if you're watching me, that means I'm happy. I survived last week, so that means this week we need to take extra special care of you. That's why this week's drink special is a home remedy known as the lime and the coconut. It's already in your head. I know it is. You put the lime in the coconut, and then you feel better. Yeah, sounds nice, but this is the happy hour, so I need a little something more. I need rum. We also need some coconut cream, some agave syrup, some lime, some coconut flakes, and some technological assistance. Start with 6 ounces of the rum and squeeze out 6 ounces of the coconut cream. Spoon that out, squish some limes, and add 4 ounces of the lime juice and a spoonful of the coconut flakes. Add about 2 cups of ice and blend that while you slowly realize that you totally forgot to add the agave syrup. Forget the agave syrup, pour up 2 glasses and rim the top of each glass with a lime wedge. Thumbs on the table and that drink is gone. That's why we made 2. Thumbs on the table, that is the lime in the coconut. Call the doctor. Wake him up.
Call the doctor up, saying doctor. Welcome back, folks. As we talked about last week, the top story tonight, the thing on everybody's mind, what is going on with WrestleMania? Is it happening? Is it not happening? Is everybody going to die? Is Goldberg really going to keep the title? Yes, after an emergency meeting with Tampa officials last week, WWE remains committed to hosting WrestleMania in just a few weeks, despite nearly every other conceivable sports entity canceling all events. And late night shows running with no people in the crowd, and SmackDown and Raw running with no audience. While we remain committed to hosting WrestleMania at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday, April 5th, we are putting contingency plans in place in the event that it is canceled by government officials, civil authorities, and or local venues. You see what they did there? They make the state the bad guy. In what may be seen as a sassy clapback, State Commissioner Hillsborough Commissioner Les Miller had this to say: "I'm hoping that Vince McMahon and WrestleMania and WWE make the call themselves, but a week from now, if they've not done that and we're still in the situation we're in, we're probably going to have to pull the plug on that." So basically that's where WrestleMania stands. It's happening. It's not happening. There is no way that this is happening. But WWE is taking the position that they intend to have it, so that if it gets canceled, they're not the bad guy. That is classic, Vince. And this drink is delicious. So knowing that WrestleMania is most likely not going to take place on April 5th in Tampa, most fans really don't even care. If the biggest story that you have about your biggest show of the year is whether or not you're actually going to have it, it's a good sign that your product is not garnering the kind of attention that it may need. And with SmackDown and Raw going to totally empty arenas, the whole thing feels kinda weird. Am I right? Yeah, Saturday with SmackDown actually, despite having no audience in attendance, had a higher viewership by about 0.6%. They did pretty good, except for Sasha and Bayley, who had absolutely the best botch of the entire year so far. Story time. Okay, so normally you know that SmackDown has a commercial break where they leave. Sometimes on commercial breaks they'll have the thing in the corner right there in the bottom, but for some commercial breaks they give the entire screen devoted to whatever product they're trying to advertise at the time. Now, the match does continue for the live audience during that period. They sit down in the ring, usually they'll pick a rest hold and kind of stay there, and you'll notice it might be a little bit more boring part of the match, but the match does still take place. Now, Sasha and Bayley were having a match with no audience right here, right? So it goes to commercial break and they stop. Because honestly, who are you wrestling for at that point? Because during that commercial break in the US, the main product gets the entire screen. There is no match shown during that commercial break. However, during some international broadcasts, different arrangements are made with their product placement. Their advertisers is what you call them. Is that what you call advertisers? I'm really good at this. Their advertisers have a different deal, and SmackDown is allowed to continue playing in the corner, which it did, while Sasha and Bayley waited for them to come back. It was a move that absolutely surely caused a level 5 Vinnie Mac meltdown, but honestly, we are in uncharted territory here, and slip-ups like that are bound to happen. Coming up Monday when Stone Cold comes back to Raw to an empty audience, bummer, we're going to be getting into some real territory when he says what and nobody says anything. What? In other big news, MMA crossover Cain Velasquez is in hot water after posting a tweet of himself with fellow WWE superstar and MMA competitor Ronda Rousey. Cain Velasquez, who was apparently not aware that he is not supposed to be doing things like that, may have possibly ruined a big surprise for WrestleMania, which would be Ronda Rousey showing up. If she's at the Performance Center, she's working on her performance with wrestling. It is a bad week for Vince. Kind of looks like this is going to be one of those situations where nobody really gets punished, because how do you punish Cain Velasquez when you've invested so much money in him? How can you punish Ronda Rousey when she didn't do anything? And what are you going to do? Sue Twitter? Don't put it past them. And in our final story of the night, AEW, following suit with the WWE, will be continuing to host Wednesday Night Dynamite with no audience. Weird. Like, I'm never going to get over this. Yes, when asked by a fan on Twitter whether AEW intended on continuing on their storylines with no live audience, Cody Rhodes had this to say. A lot of folks are sitting at home, some scared, all bored. Just like real community leaders have come forward, entertainment leaders have to follow suit, parentheses, safely. People need to laugh, cry, forget, love, all the good stuff. My personal opinion, we shouldn't hold back, he said, covering his neck. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for my show. We are in a weird point in the wrestling world. WrestleMania may not happen, shows are being done to empty audiences, and nobody really knows what's going on. But to find out what's going on, tune in next week to see me here on the Happy Hour. If you like what you just saw, please drop down, give us a like, and share this video with your friends. You can subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any upcoming content from the Extreme Wrestling Entertainment Network. Stay tuned, we got some videos coming up from Daniel Saint on Shawn Michaels' career. We've got the ace, Nick White, on how he would book Matt Hardy coming into AEW. And as always, we got Rich Diaz in his top fives. And you can come back and see my pretty face as well. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I haven't tweeted in 2 weeks, so we're gonna fix that. I'm making a mess over here. Anyway, drop down below in the comments and let me know what kind of stories you'd like to see covered on an upcoming episode of the Happy Hour. And as always, please drink responsibly.